Hello friends, we will start studying PWM techniques. We have studied 120 and 180 degree conduction mode of a inverter. So now we will start PWM techniques. As per your syllabus, you have single pulse modulation, multiple pulse modulation and sinusoidal pulse modulation. Okay, these are the three PWM techniques which are included in your syllabus. Okay, there is also modified sinusoidal, but it is not in your syllabus. So we'll start with the single pulse modulation. Here we can see the single pulse modulation. Okay, so for every half wave, we have only one pulse generator. Okay, for every half wave, we have one pulse generated, and that it is symmetrical to the point pi by 2, and here 3 pi by 2. Okay, so we can see that from this waveform, it consists of a pulse of width 2d. Okay, located symmetrically about pi by 2, and another pulse located symmetrically about 3 pi by 2. Okay, range of pulse width vary from 0 to pi. Okay, it can vary from 0 to pi. Okay, so 2d is greater than 0 and less than pi. The output voltage is controlled by varying this pulse width 2d. But we can vary this pulse width according to the output voltage will be varied. Okay, now the shape of output voltage we can see it is as a, this is called as a quasi square wave. Okay, quasi square wave. Okay, now if you apply Fourier analysis, then component Bn will be, it will integrate outside, it will be 2 by pi, and integrations will be from pi by 2 minus d to pi by 2 plus d of Vm sin omega t. Okay, sin n omega t, say sin n omega t. Okay, when you solve it, we will get 4 Vs by n pi in bracket sin n pi by 2 upon n pi by 2 into sin nd. Okay, now these two waveforms are exactly identical and opposite. So coefficient of n, component n will be 0, and we will get output voltage V0 as previously stated 4 Vs upon pi in bracket. In it will be different terms, means sin d sin omega t minus 1/3 sin 3d sin 3 omega t plus 1 by 5 sin 5d sin 5 omega t minus 1 by 7 sin 5d sin 5 omega t, sorry 7 omega t. Likewise it will run. Okay, so this is the Fourier series or mathematical analysis which I have just told you. I have not shown on a slide. You can see it in your book PS Vimra. Okay. Now how this particular wave is generated, how this particular pulse is generated. So here we can see. Okay. The ratio, now here this AC which is a triangular wave is called as a carrier wave. Okay, AC which is a triangular wave is called a carrier wave, and this is another wave is a square wave. Now we can see it is cutting at this point and this point. Okay, so where it is cutting, that is the width. Okay, if amplitude of this AC is decreased, then width of this D will be decreased. If AR and AC made equal, then pulse will be complete cycle. Are you getting? And the ratio of this AR divided by AC is called as a modulation index. Okay, you're getting? Ratio of this AR upon AC is called as the modulation index. Okay, and when a modulation index is 1, that is AR is nothing but AC, then we will get maximum width. This is a single pulse width modulation. Similar, there is a multiple pulse modulation. Now multiple pulses are used to reduce the harmonic content. So this is the main logic, and width of all the pulses is same. Now what we are doing, for each half cycle there will be a multiple pulses. In previous case we have seen only one pulse was there for per half cycle. Here there are two pulses per half cycle. Right now, each pulse was having a width of 2d. Here width of d and d, there are two separate pulses. Okay, now how this is generated, see here. Okay, this is the circuit, leave it, come here. So here we can see there is a carrier signal, okay, with frequency omega c, and this is a reference signal Vr, Vc and Vr, like previously we said AC and AR. Okay, so wherever these are cutting this reference signal, that is a width of a pulse. So width of all pulses will be exactly similar. Are you getting? Width of all pulses will be exactly similar. Now here in multiple pulse width modulation, main advantage is distortion factor is reduced compared to single pulse modulation, and the disadvantage is control scheme. It's bit complicated for this. Okay, remaining Fourier analysis you can apply on the same line as we have applied in a single pulse modulation. Okay, this is our multiple pulse modulation, and this is sinusoidal pulse modulation. Now, sinusoidal pulse modulation is very important modulation, and it is a maximum used modulation in power electronics. Okay. Now, for realizing this sinusoidal pulse width modulation of high frequency triangular carrier wave VC, we can see this is triangular carrier wave VC is compared with the sinusoidal reference wave VR. Now, in previous cases, this reference wave was a rectangular. Here, reference wave is a sinusoidal. Okay. Now, the intersection of VC and VR waves determines the switching instant and commutation of the modulated pulses. Okay. Now, VC is the peak value of triangular wave, and VR that of reference or modulated signal. Okay. Now, what happens here? We can see as per this sinusoidal wave, width is varying. Okay, width will be varying. Now, again, as I said, modulation index is VR by VC, and one important point about this in sinusoidal wave, the one particular advantage of sinusoidal pulse width modulation is the control scheme is not that much difficult like in a multiple pulse width modulation. Okay, now this is a widely used method. Okay, each pulse width of each pulse is weighted by the amplitude of sine wave. Means when amplitude of sine wave is a maximum, width of that pulse is also maximum. Okay, the carrier signal and this reference signal comparison and cutting of this particular pulses we have already seen. Now in next lecture we will study CSI, means current source inverter with ideal switches. Thank you.